Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order. It is 6. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These people there was a sugar house on the right, and they weren't. There's a lot of people there, but they weren't going.
Just for record, the folks on Zoom, we need to have names on there so we can full names so we can keep the records.
So Donna, Michael, JC, can you add some further information, please?
Phil Leonard is clear, I think.
Phil Leonard is there, yeah.
Yep.
Hiding at home.
Hi.
We a little more high? Donna, could we have full name, please?
Seward.
Donna Seward. Okay.
Michael.
Michael.
He's muted, so maybe he's not, doesn't know he's muted.
This could be muted on his time.
Who's JC?
Okay.
For what?
I'm assuming June C is June Capron.
Yes.
So those of you that have just first names and abbreviations, please type in your full name. I don't want to hold the board meeting up for that.
Whoa.
That worked.
Or a hearing aid.
So just type it in for consideration, please. Thank you. Okay, starting consideration of any changes or additions to the agenda. There is a few. We have to have, which will tie it in with the conservation. There's open spot. I don't know if it's 1 or 2 open spots for the Conservation Commission. The Star Lake inspection. And the 911 measuring responsibilities is being crossed off.
And Mert, can we add the Mount Holly Post Office on that, please?
Yep, and we'll add a line item for new business for the Mount Holly Post Office. Jeff, Diane, anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Consideration of any changes and for additions to the agenda we went through, so I have nothing else to add. Okay. Okay, approval of the February 10th minutes. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the February 10th minutes as written.
I'll second it. The ayes?
Aye.
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 Oh, yeah, Donna wrote her name. Nobody else is listening.
Okay, we have a lot of reorganization stuff to go through. Select board chair.
I nominate Mark Turpin.
A second nomination.
You beat me to spit out something. The ayes?
Aye.
Tree warden.
currently Phil Crane.
You
If
still
you're willing
interested?
to- If you're willing to accept me, I'll accept.
I'll nominate Phil Crane to be tree warden.
I'll second.
The ayes?
Aye.
Aye. E911 coordinator.
It can be, Ann Hanson. Ann said she would be willing to do it.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept Ann Hanson for the job.
I'll second it.
The ayes?
Aye.
Aye.
Think about it a minute.
RCSWD representative and alternate.
Well, the 911 did we skip over 911?
The measuring,
Yeah.
we get rid of.
Oh, we get rid of
We-
that.
that
sorry.
was a change, yeah.
Currently, Bovey with Carol's alternate.
If somebody really wants to do it, I mean, it's been a nightmare for me because of work and just not having time, and I don't know what's going on up there. They have a lot of issues, and I never got any notifications on any of the meetings that they were having or anything. So, yeah,
And I don't want the alternate either.
it's really a nightmare, but
Is there any volunteers?
It's hard to volunteer if you don't know what's involved.
It's not much, it's just attending meetings and
The meeting is on Zoom, right?
yeah.
Zoom or in person.
solid waste disposal, Rutland County solid
I can
waste.
keep doing it until we can find somebody, but there's not a lot going on because they're trying to reorganize it, so.
2 towns just pulled out.
Yeah, there are a lot of towns are pulling out. That's another issue that,
Mainly we do hazardous waste disposal through them.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're still getting foul. If they can get the help.
Right. So is there a motion to have Clinton continue for the time being until we can get a volunteer?
I'll make a motion that Clinton continue until we find a volunteer for his position.
And how about an alternate?
As well as the alternate.
What?
Just
I'll second it.
Yeah.
put it in the paper.
We'll put it out for volunteers. The ayes?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Designated employer representative.
As I understand it, that's me.
I'll make a motion to continue with Faith as the designated employee representative.
I'll second it. The ayes?
Aye.
Newspaper of record. This is going to be an interest one, because we don't, without the post office, they don't come up here anymore, the Journal.
I did actually, so the Vermont Journal, I sent them a message saying, what is the situation? I got the response, we do still go to Mount Holly, and I am under the assumption that mail and newspapers are still being delivered. We do not deliver to the Belmont zip code, and we recently eliminated all PO boxes across our distribution as postage rates are drastically increasing multiple times a year, while our rates only rise once a year. We have incorporated drop locations for papers to be available and have used Belmont Store in the past, but no one was taking any, so we stopped using that location. Please let me know if I can help answer any other questions.
So where are they dropping them off currently in Mount Holly? Because it was only the post office.
Unless there's a pile on the back door over there.
I got one in the mail today.
Me too.
In the mail.
I got one in the mail today.
Tuesday, that was
Got all
unusual.
my mail, paper,
Wow, because they haven't been delivering in the mail.
in the mail. Rutland Herald.
No, that's not the Herald.
Oh, this is the, oh,
The
huh?
Vermont Journal.
Oh, that has it. I don't know. Long time.
I got one, so not everybody's getting them delivered to them apparently.
I don't get them because I'm
You're on the other
Belmont
yeah.
PO,
Yeah.
but I haven't got one in years, a couple of years at least.
So the question is, do we want to continue with the Vermont Journal or switch to
I think the Rutland Herald
Rutland Herald?
is the only other option unless.
And most of us get the Herald.
Now, what about the news flash? That goes out every single day.
Not everybody gets that.
Not everyone has
No,
internet.
it's about 450 people are on the newsflash.
And we have over 1,100 registered voters.
Right, and the Chit Chat puts out 960 issues, but however, that doesn't cover into Ludlow much, whereas the Journal would be for any of our town stuff that a lot of people will be able to see.
So the question is, most of the town, or half of the town, on the Belmont side is not giving the Journal.
Belmont or East Wallingford.
Or East Wallingford. So I'm gonna make a motion for a change, to change from the Journal to the Rutland Herald, because the Rutland Herald, I think, is out there,
Easier to
more
access.
available for more town folks. Is there any discussion that wants to be?
Well, the only thing with the Rutland Herald is you have to pay to look at it. Or you have to pay to buy it to look at it, where Vermont Journal you didn't.
What about
So a lot
Vermont
of people
Digger?
would get it.
Vermont Digger.
That's not delivered anywhere in the town.
It's an email thing.
The
Yeah, a lot of people don't
Nobody
have.
gets it.
No, I do.
And it doesn't matter if you
The
have
Herald does have
it
an
online
online
or
presence
at
that
the
you can look at
store.
some for free.
You have to pay for it.
And they do also have the online portion. You can look at some of the stuff
Right.
online for
Obituaries.
free. Well, I think there's some other stuff too. So,
I don't know what to say at this point.
Well, they did offer to do a drop. If there was a place to drop it, would they drop it at the Belmont store without?
I
putting it in everybody's-
we'd have to ask the owners
Yeah.
if they would.
Well, they could also drop it at the Belmont Post Office.
Favor.
Yeah.
They do drop some at the Belmont Post Office.
Yes, John.
No, they don't.
Derek picks it up at Ludlow. He said he goes through the
Oh, he does.
trash and picks
Okay,
it out.
John, you were.
Do we have any idea how many people are getting the Herald?
I
Just
do
like rough
not.
idea.
I do not. I do not. But I know the Herald's there. It's available. You can see some of it online. A lot of people get it delivered to them. So my motion still stands. Is there a second?
I'll second.
The ayes?
Aye.
Aye. So the Rutland Herald is going to be the newspaper of record for now until we can get things straightened out.
Mark, are we gonna continue to try to get the Journal for everybody, or?
They won't deliver the Vermont Journal, will not send through the post office or the mail. They were just, what I know, they were just dropping a pile off at the Mount Holly post office and people would just grab them out of the post
Well,
office.
some of them were delivered through Rural Route when they were at Mount Holly.
I want to say
They
2
cut
years
back.
ago, they communicated with us they were cutting back because of the
Cutting
lack
it way
of
back.
advertising
Yep.
costs.
So, until we determine what's going on with the post office anyways, and we'll use the Rutland Herald for this year.
Have you heard anything from? No.
Assistant Town Clerk?
I have 4, and it's gonna be Susan Cavallo, Diana Guerrero, Nancy Connor, and Ann Hanson.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to appoint Assistant Town Clerk Sue Cavala, Diane Garrow,
Nancy Connor.
Nancy Connor, and Ann Hanson.
I'll second it. The ayes?
Aye.
Aye. Assistant Town Treasurers?
We have Don Augustine and Julie Parcells.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to appoint Don Augustine and Julie Parcells to Assistant Town Treasurer.
I'll second it. The ayes?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Set the day and time of regular meetings. Everybody fine with this?
Yep.
I'll make a motion, second Tuesday of every month at 6 o'clock PM for our meetings. Is there a second?
Second.
The ayes?
Aye.
Aye. Set public posting places for warnings. One was the post office.
You can still use the Belmont Post Office.
The board is still there outside the Mount Holly Post Office.
The bulletin board.
But it's not big enough if there's a lot, like for the election stuff, I couldn't post it outside, I did post it in Mount Holly Post Office before they closed. But it's not big enough if you have a lot of stuff that needs to be posted. I know when it comes to the primary in August, it's not gonna be big enough to post down there.
And what would be used by anybody going there?
I don't think anybody's going there at this point in time.
Go in there and just look and see the board?
Right.
We need 3 places, right?
Yeah, one of them is the town office.
Belmont, PO.
Belmont. Post office, I think they're still putting one there, and we need a third.
Got the post office in East Walmart.
They have a clipboard they put everything on. We utilize the school for election stuff, don't we, Carol?
No,
Just the
because no
school
one's
stuff?
allowed in the school.
That's right.
So
Where
it's
else?
not open to the public, so we can't.
Can't do that anymore.
Library?
We could, well, yeah. We talked about,
We've had this conversation before, and
we talked about putting a bulletin board at Star Lake,
Sort of a
but.
wild idea, it's not the best, but there is a board at Star Lake.
Yeah, that's what I just had said. We had talked about that before. So,
If it satisfies a legal requirement, but obviously not the best place.
right.
The Odd Fellows building, could we put a board on the outside of the Odd Fellows?
there's a big board at the lake, like
Yeah.
50 feet away. That's got a
There's
lot
one.
of-
Yeah.
access it in the winter.
Right.
Well, that could be our temporary until we get a Mount Holly Post
Right.
Office back.
So is there a motion utilizing that? Those three?
I'll make a motion that we utilize all 3 posting sites.
Is there anything at the library, at the community center?
Inside, probably.
Oh, is it? It's okay.
I think there
Yeah.
is something outside as well.
No, I don't think so.
The Odd Fellows, Belmont Post Office, the town office.
Is there a spot at the Oddfellows too, or do we have to put something up?
Underneath the porch, we put a board up, but you can't access it in the winter, it's not plowed out or anything.
I thought it was plowed out, I like plowed out.
But you can,
I'll second that motion.
Aye.
Aye. Designate signer in authorization for orders.
I'll continue.
I'll make a motion that Diane Garrow for designated signer and authorization for orders. Is there a second?
A second.
Second.
The ayes? Aye.
Aye.
Reappoint Emergency Management Director, EMD.
It says reappoint, so I don't think I have a choice.
I'll make it. You still willing, Jeff?
Yeah, unless there's somebody else that really wants to.
Who else is with you?
Billy's been partaking, and Ross is still kind of a quasi resource.
So is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to reappoint Jeff and Billy Austin.
I think it's just one person.
Just one person?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright,
Jeff.
Not to, I'm sure Billy doesn't need one more volunteer role.
I'll second it. The ayes?
Aye.
Aye. Reappoint Rutland Regional Transportation Advisory Committee Representative and Alternate.
Transportation.
Currently, Bovey and Jeff.
That was the previous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we reappoint Quentin Woolley and Jeff Chase.
Second? The ayes?
Aye.
If you guys are willing. Good. Okay.
You're doing an excellent job, thank you.
Reappoint Rutland Regional Planning Commission Commissioner and Alternate.
Currently, Jessica
John.
Metcalf is the commissioner, and alternate is John.
Still interested? I'll make a motion to reappoint Jessica Metcalf and John McCann as the alternate. Is there a second?
A second.
The ayes?
Aye.
Aye. Readopt town alcohol and drug testing policy. I'll make a motion to readopt the town alcohol and drug testing policy. Is there a second?
I'll second.
The ayes?
Aye.
Aye. Readopt town conflict of interest policy.
I'll make a motion to readopt.
I'll second it. The ayes?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, moving on to reports. Highway and Transfer Station report, Clinton?
It's definitely mud season. We've been trying to fix the roads the best we can. First thing in the morning, but you only got like an hour and a half window to try to do anything before it starts breaking the roads up. And I know I've been getting hundreds of phone calls. I'm doing the best I can for the weather that we're having.
It's not freezing at night.
No, I mean it has been freezing the last couple of nights, but it warms up so quick. There's not enough time. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is.
I did notice some of the roads are starting to look a little
It's starting to
drier.
dry out.
Yeah, I mean, the quicker mud season, the stronger mud season is, the quicker it leaves.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Hopefully stuff will start looking up.
It's supposed to get colder this week.
Cintas Uniform Company stopped by, to, talk about, they have a government plan now. But they gave us a quote on uniforms. It's basically about $15 a week per person. They do have rugs for the town office, shop towels for the shop, for rags, but yeah, sorry. It's roughly $45 a week for 3 employees for uniforms.
Which is not much different than what we're paying. It's a little bit more than the allotment right now, but then you guys don't have to worry about stuff.
They don't have about laundry.
and they replace.
Yeah, they replace, rip, tear, oil, stain, whatever.
So like a 1-year contract or something?
I don't know. I can find out more about it, but I believe it was a 1-year contract. I can't say for sure, but
Are they the ones that delivered last time?
no, this is
It's different.
this is a different company. That was UniFirst that we had.
Are we sure Centos delivered?
Yes.
There was one that last time, like they came out, they did the sales pitch, and then they said, oh wait, never mind, we don't cover your area.
That was UniFirst that did that on us when we had everything set up and it was all a go, and then they called and said, oh, well, we don't deliver to Mount Holly. But, they go to Ludlow. They're doing, I know they went to Shrewsbury, and Shrewsbury's really thinking about getting online with them, but yeah, they don't have a problem delivering to Mount Holly.
And it would be helpful too for rugs in-house here.
Yes.
They'll do the rugs weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever. But the our clothing will be every other week, or every week they drop off, pick up. But
Is the rug, if we wanted to do the rugs, can we add that on at any point?
yeah, they're on the quote that they gave us. I think it's what, $12 or something for the big rugs.
Really reasonable.
They're 3x10.
I know that's not something we have been paying for, so it would be a new expense. That's why I'm wondering if the rug piece of it. Time, just how much time, whatever turnaround time for those. I know they'll release them as often as you want.
Yeah.
So this would be in lieu of the current setup we have.
Right, or in addition to. Because voting, we should have had a big rug for the center.
No, I mean the
uniform.
highway part.
Yeah.
It's one or the
One
other.
or the
Yeah,
other.
one or the other.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not opposed to going
No, it's one and the same.
to that. See, it's one and the same. Then we could add carpet on anytime, if necessary.
When needed.
Yeah, could we do it like a couple times a year when we have elections? When it's the nastiest time of year and we need them?
I mean, for $12 a month.
Yeah, really.
I mean,
Right. So,
Okay.
is there a motion? Because it's gonna be one or the other.
I think just assuming it's make a motion with the caveat that it's not like a contract we're signing up to, because it doesn't say anything about
Right.
term on there.
So-
Right.
As long as it's a
Actually-
monthly.
Is there more information that you can get maybe for the next meeting?
yeah, I mean,
That way we can see what their terms are.
Contract,
say?
and we can make,
it's in there. I know it's in there. It's in.
just don't have enough time to read
Yeah.
everything.
But
It doesn't look like there's any like terms, like any like locked in period. So that's why I'm just saying this
and if you
contingent notion or something.
if you change, if employees change, the cost doesn't change. It stays the same. I mean, you still get the 3 sets of clothing.
Looks like they had to do the hand soap as well.
Yeah, I get that from other supplier.
Because this price is only good until April. Expires April 9th.
We can make a copy of this and show it to Liz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scan it and email it to you.
Yep, then we can go from there. Anything else on the transfer station or the highway, Clinton?
Transfer station, we need to advertise help. Kevin was out for a few days. Ken had to work by himself because of the weather, and everything, and I know he said that he's not gonna be able to work much on Wednesdays because his schedule's getting full for his carpentry work, so,
Ken's.
yeah.
All right, we can put it out there again. I know we've had it out there continuous for a while.
No response.
So let's throw it out on the news flash, put it out in the chit chat again.
We want it for a full-time person. Is it
Sounds like,
difficult?
it sounds like if he's not, yeah, I would say if he can't do full-time and we need a full-time, we just keep him on his backup
Full-time
or
like
part-time.
Wednesdays or
Yeah.
keep Ken on the backup, yep. Okay,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't, you know, if it makes it easier to find, we're open to either, I guess.
Just be careful not to call full-time since it's part-time.
right.
Yep. I think the alternative is if we can't find help is
Correct.
the
Is
transfer stations.
Subbing the
Yeah,
transfer station out to other entities,
which would increase the sticker cost.
which would definitely increase the sticker cost. So that's still an option that we talked about on the
Potentially,
table.
yeah, in a year or so.
Because it would save the town some money, long term,
50, 60K
a
annually.
year. Yep. Okay, any questions for Clinton? Okay, moving on, treasurer's monthly income and expense report. Liz?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself again. Kind of a broken record this time of year, very similar to last month. We send our check to the school each month, which is our biggest expense. There's some cash that comes in, but it's pretty minimal this time of year. Although this month we did get the full repayment for the paving that was done, which was funded by a state grant. So for the work that was done on Hortonville, there was a total of $200,000 that was reimbursed to us, and that's now been fully repaid as of February. Just ongoing, there is collections of delinquent taxes have continued kind of at a steady pace, similar year over year from last year. Slow and steady every month since November. Overall expenses, the only, we did last month's meeting, we talked about the tree work came in, so that expense was realized. And you'll see the grant income for the paving reimbursement that was received. That's a big special state grant. Other, just looking to see if there's anything else that's really of note.
On page 2 of the P&L, under intergovernmental, is that a new line 44751?
Just a second, I'm scrolling.
Page 4 of the PDF.
44751.
Yeah.
Yes, it's only $300, so I didn't mention it, but there's a state, we received $300 from the state of Vermont. I think every municipality receives this. It was designated for a cannabis control board, but there's no stipulation or requirement to utilize it for one. I think last year, we received it last year, and I booked it under a different GL account, but it seems to be a continuing item, so I did add a new ledger account for it this year, just so you can see it. But I'm not aware of any requirements. I know I think we talked about it when it first was paid. It may have even been 2 years ago. I don't believe there's anything, we're not tied to anything by receiving the funds. It's just part of the law that's in place that they've designated funding for that for counts. That's my understanding.
Dennis is standing up. Dennis is standing up.
Yes, Dennis.
So, I just wanted Liz to know that on the tree removal, one was done at the museum. You may not, during that period. And so in talking to Faith and Clinton yesterday, the information from Clinton was, it looks like the museum's share of that is $800. So the museum's neighbor in the museum will be getting checks to the town, each for $400. So you will be getting $800 back on that one. The other one for the cemetery, they couldn't get into to do, and that'll be coming out of the cemetery funds anyway, probably next month, I hope.
Okay, that'll be a separate project.
Right.
Thank you, Dennis.
I got one question with the, for like summer culverts, does that come out of summer material?
Yeah, it's been summer road materials.
Okay.
And I did put, just so you know, on the topic of the trees, I did book part of that against the ash tree expense, since we had discussed that, so. But there's really, it's besides the fact that we're keeping up with the roads and the road crew's busy, there's no major other expenses going on this time of year, which is good. It's a bit quiet.
Good. Any questions for Liz? Thank you, Liz. Okay, listers report. Mary?
I don't have a lot to report. We did welcome Tiffany Austin to our team today, which went very well. She jumped right in and started working, which was great. The education, our trainings are starting to come up, and there's several scheduled, and most of them are required. So we've been getting prepared for our trainings. And we've still got to get Tyler back to do some reappraisals on properties that have changed with building constructions and that kind of stuff. Other than that, that will be probably another couple weeks before we get that all straight with Tyler. And then after that will be access letters and change of appraisals and grievance and all that. So hopefully it will all be done by June is our hope. And other than that, I think we're pretty much rolling steady.
Good. Any questions for Mary? Thank you, Mary. Mount Holly Conservation Commission report. Phil?
Well, I think you raised a couple of questions that maybe we should address in the beginning. One is membership. And I think we have 9 slots for the Conservation Commission. We currently have, as of today, 8 commissioners.
Okay.
One's Susan Preston appointment is expiring at the end of the month, and she has indicated that she doesn't want to continue at this point. although I'm sure she'll be involved with what we're doing. She just doesn't know whatever it takes to continue. And so we will have, and we currently have one open point, and we currently have, so at the end of the month, we'll have two. And I don't remember whether we have to advertise those or not.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
yeah, because we have one fellow, who I think John Ackerman, is that his name? Who has indicated his interest in joining, and I believe has written you a letter. So, but anyway, so I think we should probably advertise the two positions. And see, I believe actually there's another person who's interested, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, we'll have to put it out, you know, in the chit chat and the news flash that
Yeah.
there's going to be two available spots for the
Yeah.
Conservation Commission.
And so presumably by next month, we should be able to appoint one, and if the second person shows up, then two, which is encouraging. And so that closes that item, I think. And you mentioned Star Lake, is that, do you want to discuss that? Star Lake inspection?
That'll be down on,
New business.
yes.
Okay. And for the report that I had planned to give, and which I will, there are two items which we would like to ask your permission, and that is Jean Marie Fitzgerald has been diligently looking at the town plan and at opportunities to get relatively inexpensive plants to plant around the recreation area. And there are two aspects to this. One is to replace some of the widowmaker trees that we have up there. And the other is to plant some fast-growing plants that will hopefully overwhelm the Phragmites, which is growing on the berms around there. So, and I'm not sure, don't know for sure, but I think Jean Marie has some landscaping experience in planning and that kind of stuff. And she's drawn up the list, which I have provided you with, which details what we'd like to get and where we'd like to get it. And it's, for what we're getting, it's a very modest expense to procure the plants. And then we'll, I believe, we can employ some happy volunteers to put them in. Anyway, so so I would, I'm asking you on behalf of Jean Marie, who unfortunately couldn't make it tonight for medical reasons, actually, and that we be allowed to spend $409 here and procure these plants from the Rutland, I don't know what the NRCD stands for, Plant Sale Fundraiser, but anyway, they're very inexpensive, and we have to get the if you get the order in early, you get the plants early, and they can really move. So, and again, I don't know the particulars of that, but she's done the homework here, and I think it looks, and she's done the homework in a way that, for instance, native and native-friendly shrubs. Those are mostly very fast-growing things, and especially the deciduous trees, like the paper birch, for example, are fast-growing. So within, 5 or 6 years, you'll have real trees there. And there's a corollary to what we're planning to do there, and that is that we'll need to remove some trees. And that will come to you presumably next month with a plan to remove trees. And the other thing that we would like to do is start to collect some funds to support the weed harvesting. You know, as you probably are aware, we now have a weed harvester in town that we need to, I think, at least pay the operator to run the damn thing and presumably do repairs and whatnot. It would be not, we don't yet have a formal agreement with them, but we hope to be able to collect donations. And those donations, we would like to have an account with the town for this endeavor. In other words, in Liz Carl's bailiwick, we'd like to have a line item there, which is weed harvesting or whatever. And we would give the money that donations which we receive to do the weed harvesting into that fund and use that to reimburse the fella to do hopefully enough to reimburse him for the effort that he's put into building a weed cutter. And I think Phil Leonard is still in the book. He could probably provide somewhat more precise details of this than I can at this point. But in any case, the bottom line is we'd like to be able to put these donations into a particular line item so we can keep track of them. So that's the second thing that I have.
Liz, is that okay?
Sorry, I had to find the mute button. I honestly, I had a really hard time hearing that.
Oh, well, Liz, let me say it again. The Conservation Commission wants to collect donations for weed harvesting in the Star Lake swimming area where we have permission to do it. And we'd like to use donations which we receive to support this weed harvesting and have the donations go to an account with the town, which we believe will allow them to be tax deductible, and that you will help us manage that. So if we collect $5,000, say, and we need to pay this guy $4,500, you'll help us do that.
We definitely can collect the cash piece of it, and it would allow for that, but right now, I'm in the midst of, there's a new assistant, kind of shifting, trying to get things up to speed without having David in the office anymore. And definitely on the cash piece of it, but I think we would need your help on properly thanking donors for that.
Oh, yeah, no, we don't expect you to do that for sure. No,
What I would say, Phil, is to reach out, put an ad out somewhere if you're looking for donations to help weed harvesting.
We're gonna do that.
Then you guys collect the funds, then transfer them over to Liz if Liz is okay with that.
Well, we'd like to make the funds payable to the town. That's what.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And
If we just do the bookkeeping, if you'll do the banking.
And this becomes town funds procurement policies.
Correct.
Go into
Kind
place.
of why I
think
was
that's
trying to get away from that. If they collect it and put the money in the funds, then that's different.
right?
In order to have it be tax, people want tax benefit for making the donation, though I think it has to flow through us, which is part of the purpose of us being the fund. And it makes sense for us to be the ones holding the funds from that perspective. But yes, it does mean that they're then subject to any procurement policy requirements.
Liz, this is Zena. How much time is he gonna be paid to do this harvesting?
I think it's every year from,
No, I mean,
Multiple times a year.
multiple times a year, and how many time per,
We don't know yet.
no idea.
Well,
No
not that
idea.
we don't have any
'Cause
idea. We'll do it
it,
within budget, I think is the bottom line.
so
It's
probably
gonna be
3 times a
dependent on
year.
how much you
Yeah.
collect for donations,
Oh, okay, all right, thank you.
because it's not a town expense.
No, we're not committing the town to do anything.
Right.
Except give us back the money.
Right.
Well, we're still responsible for the funds if we're holding, you know, it does become town money. So I would, for the letter and the donations, if you could draft, like just show me like a template, and that we could bless. That would be also helpful to know what that, you know, make sure we agree on the wording and that makes sense. And then, you know, that's the proper information people need as well for that tax, making that tax deduction.
Carol?
Reporting it on their taxes.
Yeah. Now, would that person doing it be considered a subcontractor, or would we have to have the insurance to cover that person?
I think the subcontractor, absolutely.
So that he would have to carry his own insurance
Yes.
and show the town of Mount Holly the proof of
Yes,
insurance.
they're not an employee of the towns, they're a
So-
subcontractor that's going
So
to
he would
harvest.
have to submit proof of insurance to the
His
town.
insurance.
Just like everybody else who works for the town.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions for Phil? Okay, moving on. New business.
So do I understand we should proceed with the purchase of the plants?
Do we need to make a motion to that?
That's within your
Your budget.
budget.
he's over,
Yeah, okay.
he's at budget, he's beyond budget.
No, it's not.
The report. My sheet says $1,510.
Well, there was one other item which.
Unless we want to use the, unless we want to use the campus funds.
Jeff, there's grant revenue and some money that was collected that does offset their expense line, but I believe that it's over. Currently, the Conservation Commission is over budget for the year, so any purchasing would be next year. Or, you know, that's another expense that's not included in the current budget.
So would this $409 be included as part of the grant fund?
Well, the grant funds were,
I
don't think so.
don't believe so. No, this is a new.
There's no funds
Right?
in your budget currently.
What was the, do you know what the, where are the grant reimbursements? What page or what line?
I think right at the very end, there's a reimbursement. It's maybe page 1. I apologize. I had a separate computer going that I just shut. I don't have it right in front of me.
I can speak to that briefly. There was, in the summer grant, the GIA grant and aid from the DEC, there was I wrote a letter to you guys. What actually came, funding that was actually awarded came in, I think, about $250 under what we had expended during the summer. I sent correspondence to the select board and to Liz and to Faith about that. And that's the amount, as I recall it, about 250, 249 something, I think.
Yeah, that's that.
So then it's
Yeah,
back to,
I think this is just in addition.
it's back to $30.
To those
And there's
grant
costs.
expenditures.
And there's money.
The commission is still over budget at this point in time for the year.
Right, this was used
Usually
as
at the
revenue.
end of fiscal year 25, which was in June of 25, we had $4,072 in our Conservation Commission fund. I don't think we've spent that much in fiscal year 26, which is...
The $400 and some change that's in there?
No, 4,072, I'm reading. It's what got published in the town report.
You're looking at the town report, but that doesn't include this current year.
No, I know that, but I'm pointing out that I don't think we spent $4,072. And we presumably had some funds.
I can send an email after this meeting with the breakdown, but.
That's not the dollar amount, it's just being clear on
Right.
where we're at, like,
If you can do the breakdown, that would be great.
Yeah.
Yes.
That way we'll know where we stand.
Yeah, I'll allow the different line items so you can compare them to what you have.
perhaps we can use the cannabis money to help pay for most of the plants if needed. But that looks like the plant sale doesn't happen until ordered by 19th of April. So we can discuss it.
Yeah, we can discuss it on the next month, once we have the breakdown. Okay.
So Lemon, did you pay attention to that? Because I won't be here next month.
Any other?
I'm happy to help work on that if that's useful.
Okay.
Any other
Okay.
Oh, one other
questions for Phil? Yes, Phil.
Another question for you, gentlemen and folks. We have some money left over in our in one of our grants that we discussed using to put in some LED lights in this building. Who knows about or can look at how we could do that? Because I think there's about $1,600 left for that order, which is not nothing, right? And we should be able to buy a few more lights with that amount of money. It seems a shame to let it go expire without trying to.
We had to have a quote.
Call wire nuts.
I guess want to know what grant has money left on it, and if just double check all the paperwork.
It's the grant that we used for the energy fair, that we used to buy the infrared cameras.
Yeah.
And now we still have the order of, was $4,000 and we've spent maybe 34, not 34, 24. So.
And it would be applicable replacing lights. Is the money already received, or it would be an additional request for reimbursement?
Yeah,
to get to
that, I think it's the latter. Yeah. But anyway, I mean, they're expensive, I understand.
They're pretty pricey.
Well, and electricians are.
Yeah, you wouldn't get much for $1,600.
So,
I'll be honest.
okay, I mean, you know.
Are you talking
Maybe
about
put them in
lights?
your offices or something. You know, maybe you won't do them all out here, but then you put them in some offices or something.
I guess if it was bulbs, you could put them in ourselves.
Yeah.
Just go to Home Depot and buy a bunch of bulbs. Yeah, the ballast.
The ballast will have to come out, and there's a lot of those bulbs. The LEDs don't use ballasts.
Anyway,
But
It's a good thought.
It's
I
a
mean,
good thought.
if
We can
there's-
look into
whether
it.
it's that or something else, yeah. If there's some other
has to
upgrade here.
Has to be energy efficiency.
it has to be energy efficiency.
Yeah.
Liz was trying to say.
Yes, Liz.
Sorry, they do make ballast, like, it's just a kit to continue, you don't have to replace the whole ballast. You can convert it.
You want to send, if you have some info, I'll look at it to see, so I can kind of brainstorm.
Yeah, well, and see if it makes sense in what we have there.
Yep.
Okay, so and if it's a kit, it would be per kit price per.
Yeah.
Per light, it's
Yeah,
per
I just want to
fixture.
see the grant paperwork so I can,
right.
I don't color outside the lines.
Right.
Yep.
Anything else, Phil?
Oh, no.
All right, moving on.
Thank you, Phil, for
Thank you, Phil.
not,
Yes.
we're supportive of it. We just want to make sure it's.
Moving on to new business. One of them is to okay for the state, or the Star Lake inspection.
Yeah, they just, the ANR just needs permission to access the dam on the 23rd of June. Apparently no other action is required on our part apart from giving them the permission.
Yeah, same thing we did last year. I'll make a motion to give them permission to access Star Lake for inspection of the dam on June 23rd. Is there a second?
I'll second.
The ayes?
Aye.
Then set the spring and summer transfer station hours.
29th of March will be the last Sunday, and April 1st will be the first Wednesday. April Fools when they don't show up.
Okay. Carol had asked us to put on the Mount Holly Post Office for new business. So, yes, Carol.
I think the town, the select board and people in the town should really think about putting a new building in because the town of Mount Holly needs a post office. We don't have one right now, and I'm not sure when or if Casey will ever get that one open. And it's really hard for me as clerk to have to run to Belmont when the mail doesn't get sorted for Mount Holly until about 9:30 or 10 to get the mail. And we are the town of Mount Holly, so I think the town of Mount Holly should have a building here for a post office.
Have you approached the United States Postal Service?
What I got told is if the select board is willing to write a letter to get it, and it will go to Portland, Maine to have it submitted, because they know that we need a post office. And I've talked to Gabby, and she said if we could get something going and get it wrote, we could. We've got a cement slab down where the old town garage was. We could get a building and put down there. It'd be an ideal spot.
Easy access.
But the town needs a post office.
We talked about that when I was on the board, about doing that, and you get the rent eventually.
Right, you have it.
Yeah.
It would come back, you know. It would-
Right.
So it's not a losing proposition for the town.
Carol and I have been looking into it a little bit, and Carol has some information on a Jamaican cottage.
For a 20 by 30, we'd have to make sure the post office was in agreement on the side. But for a 4-season, they call it a Vermont cabin, and it comes fully insulated for $71,849. We could drop a tank in the ground for a septic system to have a holding tank and have it pumped 3 or 4 times a year because the post office is only open about 4.5 hours a day. We could hook onto the water from the fire station because the water is already in there. To me, it would be a win-win situation because, like I said, Mount Holly needs a post office.
Correct.
Do you have any idea what they pay for a rent?
By budget.
I know it's online, you can look it up.
I know
but-
down at Casey's, it was about $1,200 a month.
So they pay by the square foot of what they're doing and stuff. It'll be interesting to see, because I know they deliver to the school, and if they didn't use a P.O. box for the town instead of School Street or whatever it is, they would deliver. They deliver to the building.
There's too many mortgage companies that go back 40 years where people refinance or they've extended their mortgage. It's too many for the town to have to notify all these companies. So it's easier to keep the P.O. box versus having it delivered.
Yeah. I just knew you could have a stamp made up, and every envelope and letterhead and everything else could have a stamp for a 911 address for mail
So
delivery.
are you saying, Dennis, you don't want Mount Holly to have a
I
Mount Holly post office?
I don't care, but I know the federal government is looking at reducing some spending in some areas, so I hope they can do it. I really do. But I have I don't have any, I don't care about any of the others.
The issue with it is, it would have to go to a public vote,
Yeah.
first of all. It'd have to be on a vote.
Yes, I know it would have to go to a vote. I know where there is some money that would have to go out to public vote, where it might not cost the taxpayers any money, that we have sitting in an account. But to me, I know I've had people drop mail off here, and I've had to take it to Belmont Post Office. And they live on that side of town, and they say it's out of their way to have to go up there, which I agree. It's out of my way to have to go up there to drop off the town mail. And then you've got lawyers calling, and they go, well, why hasn't you received our thing yet? Well, for recordings, well, when it's not coming directly to Mount Holly, they get in their own thing sorted for Mount Holly, but it's getting delivered to Belmont. If I don't get up there to get the mail, I've actually been recruiting Bobby to go get the mail because I'm the only one in the office,
Yep.
which is not fair to the road crew to have to leave their job to go get the town mail. Or I can close the town office. But then you're gonna have townspeople, if they're coming here to do business and no one's here. I went one day and I spent over a half hour up there getting the mail, and I left Dawn here and she was sending people away. Well, they sat out in the parking lot, and then I had 6 people come in all at once because they saw me pulling in.
So, Carol, have you gotten a letter, possibly can you get a letter of interest from the Postal Service, United States Postal Service?
They want a letter from the select board saying their concerns why Mount Holly needs a post office.
Well, that's a start then, yeah. Because I do know that when I worked at the post office in Belmont, they were considered closing that one in Belmont because of the current landlord and the issues that they had in that building. And I do know that Portland came down and looked at it, and they said that kind of have to go with what they've got because they're not interested in building a new building, they're not interested in ownership. So.
Right.
That's why I asked about that.
I'm not opposed in any way, shape, or form, but it would have to go out to, a town vote.
Well, you're just asking for a letter saying the town would like
The
to,
letter sent to the postal service.
we're asking for.
And then see if they are interested in the town having
Okay.
one.
I'm not opposed. We can, or should I say Faith can draft up a letter for us?
I mean, the letter doesn't mean we,
No.
the post office just means,
No.
it just expresses
It expresses the concern of having a post office in town. In what they're going to do to accommodate the town of Mount Holly for post
I
office.
think there was a hand.
Yes, John.
What was the exact reason for the change? I may have missed it. Was it
Why close?
The building's condemned.
Oh, is that right?
It's a fueling at the post office.
Yeah, I
It wasn't
believe
because of lack of funding, it was quality of building.
And it's just the issue because there's mud, ground's frozen, there's snowbanks. Casellas and Hazard, they can't do anything until.
I believe they had a fuel leak.
They had a
at
fuel
one
leak.
point
And it's
in
gonna
there,
take a little
and
while for everything to dry out so they can even come in and look at it.
So,
It may not be as bad as everybody's jumping to conclusions here, because that's a big taxpayer for everybody. We don't have it. We don't even know what we're gonna pay for the school.
Has anybody talked to the building owner? Just
so, yeah.
I have talked to Casey.
So
so the answer is yes.
we'll leave it at that. We'll draft a letter to the postal service
I'll ask.
and move forward with that, just to see what their intent is.
Yeah, I think even just asking them, is it a permanent closure or is
Yep.
it, what's the timeline?
Correct. So we'll do that. Starlake. Okay, going on to ongoing and old business. Adopt 2026 town road and bridge standards.
This is the updated one, and I put the correct information in and the date. It just needs to be signed by the three of you.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to adopt 2026 town roads and bridge standards as written.
A second.
The ayes?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, appoint planning commission member. We have, is it one opening? Two openings.
No, it's one opening.
One opening.
That would have been a quick conversation if there was two openings.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It would have been done and over. Two candidates.
So we have two candidates for one position.
I get the question, Mark? Did my
Yes.
letter of...
Yes,
Okay.
yes. In Okay, one of them that has sent a letter of interest, Ron Utterman, sent a letter of interest for the Planning Commission. Ron, would you like to say anything, or?
Was that appropriate, or what's the best way to do it? What is it? You have all the information in front of you, but...
Yeah, if you want to just read your letter to the people.
I can, if that's the best choice. I would like to be considered for appointment to the Mount Holly Planning Commission to fill the current vacant position. I've been a Mount Holly resident for the past 70 years, initially part-time and full-time for the past 25 years. During these years, I've seen Mount Holly transition from a mostly farm community, 32 active farms, actually 3 of them right in Belmont, to a community of various professions, businesses, and a broad mix of both full-time and part-time residents. The Planning Commission and Town Plan played an important role in helping to balance the individual interests of residents, landholders, and businesses with the long-term goal, vision and goals of the town as a whole to preserve the town's rural character and appearance while fostering orderly development, including community services and recreational cultural opportunities. Over the past few years, I'll just interject, I've spoken to the Select Board over the last few months, and some of this is about that. Over the past few years, I observed a tension that has developed between the Planning Commission and town residents and businesses. As you have heard me articulate at recent Select Board meetings, this concerns me, as it does many other residents who have approached me since I broached this subject in the fall. I believe my professional and personal experience would contribute to helping the Planning Commission reach a more balanced approach to implementing our town's goals. My experience is outlined in the resume below. I won't go through all of that, just quickly. I was a science teacher, middle school teacher in Essex Junction, Vermont. I was a building contractor in northern Massachusetts and here in Belmont. I worked at General Electric Company as a research scientist. I was later a senior vice president of technology at an environmental biotechnology firm. I've been on the boards of directors of two internet companies and one environmental company. And then I was a managing director of an Rhode Island investment fund that invested in technology businesses that would come out of the universities, trying to stimulate high-paying jobs. My community activities, Friends of Star Lake, for 15 years. I was co-chair for much of that. And a lot of that was the weed control program, but also for 5 years, the reconstruction of the Star Lake Dam. I oversaw the design, state and federal permits, and contracting. Jeff remembers I worked with him for some of that time. I was on the Mount Holly Conservation Trust, board member and also treasurer. I was president of the Mechanicsville Cemetery, the year that I had to refile for IRS status. That was really fun, but I got it back for them. Back to the letter. Although I have had limited direct experience in planning over the last 50 years, I've traveled a lot, I've moved around a lot. I've had 9 homes in various jurisdictions, Vermont, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and have had considerable experience with the requisite activities relating to land use, construction, and development, including permitting, subdivisions, zoning regulations, surveys, easements, covenants, etc. Also in line with some Planning Commission responsibilities, I've had extensive experience with numerous governmental and regulatory agencies, including the US EPA, the Vermont DEC, and within that, dam safety, aquatic nuisance control, shoreland, encroachment, wetlands. Also the New York State DEC, the US Army Corps of Engineers, Office of Naval Research, there are some others. As for whatever experience I lack, I've always been considered a good student and a quick learner, and I look forward to that challenge. Thank you for your consideration.
Thanks, Ron. I know Dave isn't here, so I'll read Dave's letter. It says, to the Select Board, I would like to apply for consideration of appointment to the Planning Commission. I built my house here 44 years ago and have been a full-time resident for more than 10 years. I would like to help Mount Holly retain everything that makes it a good place to live. I understand that often applicants for the Planning Commission permits are confused about the application process and requirements they must meet. I hope I can help the commission clarify these requirements and better assist the applicants. Currently, I'm serving on the school committee and the Conservation Commission. I believe I have demonstrated that I can work well with other members and can help the group to move forward. While working for the New York State Legislature, I have learned to read the laws and figure out how they should be applied. My experience in government finance has enabled me to contribute to discussions and seek innovation solutions to our problems. Thank you for your consideration, Dave Martin. Now, each of them has multiple letters for recommendation. I'm not going to read all the letters, but I'll just go through the names. Francis and Carol Devine for Ron, Sue Cavallo for Ron, Dennis Devereaux for Ron, Lisa Kelly, recommendation for Ron, Mark Griffin, recommendation for Ron, Kathleen and Abe Lieber, a recommendation for Ron. Dave has Andy Schultz, a recommendation. Dave Ventor sent a recommendation. John McCann sent a recommendation. Paul Nevin wrote a letter of recommendation for Dave. And Bridget Sullivan wrote a letter of recommendation for Dave.
So, I think you guys have an embarrassment of riches here.
Tell me about it.
And I trust your judgment.
Somebody's gonna walk away not happy, and that's not the intent of.
No, it is not
our
the intent,
decision.
no matter the decision. So I am going to ask for a motion.
Why don't you go to an executive session?
They're both excellent candidates.
Yes. There's only one opening
One opening and, oh my.
and two candidates.
Oh my.
I guess I got a question for Ron. Do you feel you can be constructive and work with the board members that are currently on the board, just in light of, past few months?
Absolutely. That's one reason I'd like to join the board, to help understand what's been going on and see how I can contribute to that.
So is there a motion?
You guys want to talk about it?
I don't know any amount of talking. It's two
It's a
good
difficult-
candidates,
It's good. They're two great candidates, and I'm not going to argue that. So if nobody wants to, I am going to throw this motion out, and I'm sure I'm going to not make somebody happy.
I would like to make one comment. And
Yes.
I find David Martin extremely competent, but he's also on the school board, and that is an important job, and his term there doesn't expire till 28. So I worry that maybe he's going to stretch himself a little thin.
Bite off a little more than he can chew, maybe?
So I'm going to make a motion. I'm going to make a motion to appoint Ron Utterman to the Planning Commission. So is there a second?
I'll second.
The ayes?
Aye.
Aye. I know it's,
There's 2 more openings coming up in November.
so,
So,
I know Ron, and he's gonna work well. We're gonna move past the issue.
Correct.
I know John, hopefully we can
How
all
long do they serve?
make it work.
3 years.
It's a 3 year.
3-year program, 3 years.
No,
I think this position, though,
position is actually.
ends a year and a half from now, though.
It's a year and a half. It's only the remainder of Andy's term. So it's a year and a half position. Okay, moving on. Appointment of Board of Adjustment alternate. We had one letter for Julie Parcells saying she's interested for the position. So is there a motion?
I make a motion that we accept Julie Parcells for the position.
I'll second it.
The ayes?
Aye.
Aye. Moving on to citizens' comments, concerns. Clinton?
I got one, I don't know if it was during elections or not, but we've had several elderly people that park down here and walk up through, and one lady was walking with a walker. It was slushy, slippery, and not slushy slippery, but if she had fell out there, nobody would have known she was out there. I really think that we should add a ramp along the deck. Get rid of them trees, the shrubs, and put a ramp from out front. Because a lot of elderly people won't pull up here because they can't back up.
Right.
So I think for a citizen concern, I think we need to
I'm in agreement.
get a ramp built.
I think we just need to
From
reach
the
out.
parking lot.
I think we just need to reach out and get some quotes on that, because I've seen, people with canes and stuff trying to walk along the side,
Yeah.
and they struggle. So I think we just need to get some quotes.
I actually backed a woman's car out for her because she didn't dare to back it up.
Yep.
Once she got around, so.
Yep.
I think there might be some grant money, ADA, money available to probably pay for it anyway.
Yep. So let's reach out, get 3 quotes, then we'll move forward. Hopefully we can have them before next month's meeting. Okay? Anybody else? Okay, going on to announcements. Dog license registration deadline, April 1st. Please, if you have animals out there, please get them registered.
Also, everybody, when you're filing your tax returns, or if you have to file for an extension, please be sure to file your HS 122 before anything else, so that it doesn't mess up our property tax bills when it comes time for us to print them. That is very, very important that you file that form. Even if you don't file tax returns, you must file that form.
That's the homestead.
Homestead.
The homestead.
It'd be good to put that in the news flash a couple times.
Yep, you do.
Yep.
If you want to reimburse.
Yeah, Montpelier's gotta get those papers.
Yes. Okay, review and sign the orders.
I don't have anything.
So with that, I thank everybody for coming out. Meeting is adjourned.